Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Ready. Move ready.
Watching you grind. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Hey, stop. Wait,
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
3 bud. Mike 55. Let's go, D.
Jameis to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Hernandez. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Watch QB draw. Easy.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. I'm coming.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
Right there.
Go. You better bring it.
Mike's 5'4. Mike's 5'4.
Check pass.
Winston now. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Haywood. Ready?
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert. On fourth.
First down, Green Bay.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Mike, 53.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike.
Looking to throw. McPherson. He's going to rifle one deep left. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Packers, as his guys are in for 6, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Harvin, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
54. Mike, 54. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Green, come and see.
Don't get nervous.
Sonny.
Check. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. It's just me and you.
Come on. Sunday.
Check 3.
Easy.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Ready? White 25.
Let's go.
Wait.
Mike 55. Watch the run. Mike. Right there in the middle. 55. Quit talking about it and bring it. Slam. Jack.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Who that? Who that?
5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Right there. 54.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. The 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run on first down. Norris showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 6-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Come on, set. 10-2, sir.
They can't hang with us.
5.
Back to throw. McPherson. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Travis Kelce, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Black 25 behind.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Flip, flip, flip.
He's crazy.
And a give this time to the tailback. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He's scared.
Now Winston. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Go, go.
They'll run it with Jones. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
You draw quarters.
53. Mike. You don't want none. You don't get it. Pick up the ball. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Booth. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 13-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. Hey, wahoo!
Hey, slam, slam, slam. Watch the eye.
Ready?
Off the play fake. McPherson. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
I'm coming after you. Kill, kill, kill.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again.
Ready. Hello.
Check 53's mic. Check pass. Check pass.
Hey, team 6.
On 1st and 10, McPherson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Bound to lose one. Kill.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Following the interception, Winston. Looking here for Smith downfield. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 52 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Watching your five. Easy. Hey, it's our field. Hey, it's our house. Mike, 50 feet. Easy. Hey, eat. Army.
On third down, Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing left side, it's complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. It's Norris. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Let's keep moving.
Green, come see.
55. 55. I got one. 55's my guy. 55. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Take 4.
From the gun, Winston. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Mike 55, Mike 55. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Come on.
55. Wait. 55. Oh. Easy. Let's go.
On second down, Winston again. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 27 yards there, a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
Let's go now.
From the gun, McPherson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check out, bro.
Looking to throw. McPherson. And Adams has it complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6-man. Check girls. Check.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Here we go. Check it backer, check it backer.
Hey, stop. Stop.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
To throw, Winston. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Switch. Easy. Hey, stop. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Easy. 54. I'm trying to collect. Mike's 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
It's our time. Right there.
Let's go.
Throwing, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Mike's 5'4". Hey, let's get that ball again. Let's get that ball right here.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike 55. It's a party now. It's a party now. 55's Mike, guys. 55. Rip left. Sonny. Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike Henry. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Kenny Clark. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. The Jets have just scored, so they've taken the lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Go get him. X3. 218. Chop it. Get it.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly. Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Hey, high 7. Go.
To throw on 2nd down. McPherson eluding the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the... And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
That's what I do. 54. Mike 54. There we go.
Jameis now on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shit.
5-0.
Now Winston. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
It got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. Blue 80.
Mike 54. Watch the screen. Pass.
Green, triple T.
Right there.
Easy.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Here's Winston. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Green, triple T. Flip.
3rd and long for Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
64, weak.
Again, it's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 3rd down, it's Norris, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go. 18 Gators.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
Good.
Looking to throw on second down. McPherson buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 34-yard line. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he'll get this down to about the 30-31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here's Winston. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch. Wait. Check. F-O. 54. Mike 54.
Hey, we heavy on Sonny. Watch twist. Check 37.
Now Winston. Got his man. That's Harry. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Ready. Black 25 behind. Cover.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shit.
Let's go.
Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Easy. Okay, just like that.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check. 55. Let's go. Check.
Winston to throw. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Ready. Black 22.
Mike 50. Let's go, D.
Green, triple T.
Mike's 50. Mike's on top. Watch the screen.
Easy. Hey,
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
55. Mike 50.
They'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1. It's tempting to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Josh Lambo set to kick off.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. He's got a first down past the 30. And some room to maneuver. A huge play there in overtime. 72 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Check 49, check 49, check 13, check 3, 17. Switch.
Kill.
Let him go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check it. Flip it. Easy.
Sponge. No.
Easy. Hey.
Wide. Get wide.
Easy. Let's convert.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So on now is the kicker, Josh Lambo.
A 28-yard attempt.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Chicago, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.